So welcome tonight to our streaming free with Hoopla and Kanopy. I'm Amanda. I'm a library assistant at the Middleton Public Library. And these are two databases that we have for streaming movies or TV. Some Hoopla also has extra things like books and music and magazines, but Kanopy is specifically just movies and TV shows. That is our newer one that just started after the new year. So that is one that we're kind of showcasing the most tonight. I am gonna just go through a quick overview and then I'll show it to you live with my own account so you can see how that looks. So for each of these databases, you would start at our website just to make your account because or to like hook your account up with your card. And then you can download the apps later. So Hoopla and Kanopy.
Actually, I've already actually downloaded the apps.
Perfect.
So on my phone at least. But I don't know how to use them.
Yeah, so that's what we're gonna go through. But they are available, and then you'll be able to log in with the account information that you create here. So first you start on our website. We have a bunch of tabs up at the top. So you'd start on resources and online databases. And then you choose, we start with Hoopla. So you click on when they open up their page, the Get Started Today, and it's going to ask you to create an account. So you would provide address, password, and then it's going to ask you about your library. So this is where you would do Middleton Public Library is what you type in, or your zip code. And then you would click on the name of our library, and then it would ask for your library card number. And it shouldn't be asking for a PIN number either that you have in LinkCat. It's just going to be the card number.
Okay.
And when you do log in, I have different screenshots here. So for this is Hoopla. I have when you're on a device and then when you're on the website on a web browser, like on a computer or other device. So this is kind of the My Hoopla page that opens up when you are on a computer web browser. And this is what it would look like on a phone or other device. It's obviously going to look a little different as well if you would have this on a TV, because these apps are available for smart TVs as well. So keep in mind that the way that it looks might be a little different, but it should have all the same buttons. So you do have up across the top My Hoopla and Browse, and then you also have a search bar. And then there's also, if you're looking for kids items for Hoopla, there is a kids section. There it's off, so you would click it to turn it on, and I'll show you that too here. I have my own son, so I have lots of things saved in my kids section. And over on the right side here for the device, you have some of those same things down at the bottom. You have My Hoopla, and you have the search in the opposite corner. And then it does split up with browsing between video, music, and books. So that instead of having your browse button is just kind of split up between formats. You have your kids section up at the top, and then also you have your gear in the corner for both of them for your settings. So those are kind of the main parts of that page that opens up. When you are searching, you can search everything. If you click the down arrow, it does show you all the different formats. Do you have a question?
No, I'm sorry, my phone rang. I just turned it off.
Oh, that's fine.
I would just turn it off like for good.
So it shows you those formats, but then you have you click on the bar to type in whatever you want. It will do, a keyword. It will do title, author, series. And then if you look underneath the search bar here too, they do have an advanced search section where you can, parse it out by language and things like that. When you're on a device, you tap on your search in the right corner and it should pop up at the top. And then it's going to give you trending searches and it will let you access advanced search up in the corner as well.
Okay.
So all of those different areas, same things on the screen, just in different areas. Here's an example of what the advanced search looks like on the web browser and then on a device. Again, you can do title, the people in it. So if it's a movie, you can search by actors and actresses, the published dates, the language.
So does this include the whole collection of books in the library?
For Hoopla, this would be this collection is technically separate from anything that we physically have in the library. And it's going to be ebooks and audiobooks, comic
So
books.
it's all electronic.
Yep, all electronic. It's all
Okay.
going to be within the Hoopla app. So
Okay.
it also has music, movies, TV shows, and magazines. So Hoopla is just kind of everything.
Okay.
So here's an example of when I searched movies. It's showing me right now popular items. And it's a movie because it'll have the little camera. Audiobooks will have headphones. If it's music to play on your computer, it'll have like a music note. And just an ebook will just have a regular book icon. So if you are searching by subject, not exactly by format, then you will be cued in by what icon is going to be shown underneath the images. But it will tell you right there too. I think it says movie.
Okay.
Here's just an example of what that looked like when we did it on a device. So I was clicked in on video down at the bottom. And you have filters on both of them. You can sort and filter by format or date, and it's the same thing on the device. Up at the top, you have a filter that you can use or sorting.
Okay.
On the device too, it's good to note when you're in video, you have movies and television. You can toggle back and forth.
Okay.
And on the web browser, movies and TV are separate when you're in the browse section.
Okay.
When you are in each record, it will show you a summary of the movie or book and maybe like author, cast, directors, things like that. And the borrow button in Hoopla is always blue, so you'll be able to find that in both on the web browser and also when you're in a device. And this here was, I think, for an audiobook. This one's for a movie. Good thing to note too, the ratings for PGR, things like that. If you have children around, those all are up at the top next to the published date as well. And your time limit. So this one was 1 hour and 36 minutes.
Okay.
When you're in the audiobooks, if you do audiobooks, it also does tell you the length of time for those too. So underneath the picture here, they do have the time for the book.
So do you check it out for a certain period of time?
So if you notice underneath on the bottom of each of these, so this one says this title is available for 2 days after you borrow it.
Okay.
So it can be at any time. And this is also available for streaming and downloading. So streaming means you have to have Wi-Fi. Downloading means it'll download to the app. And then you only have to have the app on your device to watch it for those 2 days. And then the file will disappear on its own.
Okay.
But it is good to pay attention to whether or not it says streaming and downloading or just streaming. So that'll let you know if you need Wi-Fi.
Okay, so if I want to watch shows at home and I have Wi-Fi,
then you're good. It doesn't matter, especially if you're downloading the app on your TV, then you're set because your TV is gonna be already connected to your Wi-Fi in that manner.
Okay.
Over here for the audiobooks and ebooks are different, so those aren't streaming, that's just downloading to the app. So down at the bottom, it does say that this book is available for 21 days.
Great.
After the 21 days, you're done, and it goes back. The great thing with Hoopla is that there are no wait lists in Hoopla, unlike if you ever used Libby, which is our other book
Right.
database that we use. So there are no wait lists, and you can have 10 items checked out in a 30-day period. So it'll always let you know, like, you have so many items left to check out when you're in your Hoopla section.
Okay.
Once you hit borrow, then you would tap the download to your device option. So
Wait. After borrowing title. Just a second. Go away. Go. Leave me alone.
oh, and I forgot to put in the chat. I do have a handout that I can give you.
I'm getting confused here. So after borrow, oh, if you're downloading it.
Yep.
Okay, so there's a download
So
button.
yep. So if you see on this audiobook for An American Marriage, there after I've borrowed it, there's a play button, but then it says download to your device. So right now it's kind of up in the cloud. It's
Right.
picked out to me, but I need to actually download it to my device. Then I don't need Wi-Fi. So
Okay.
you just click on that. You only need to do that once.
All right.
And then once you have it downloaded, then the button should just turn to either play or read. This one's the ebook here, so it just says read. And it does tell me at the bottom with the check mark that this title is downloaded.
Okay.
So it lets you know when things are downloaded and when they're not. And like
So if you choose to stream it, how do you do that?
well, if you are signed in to your account, say on your smart TV, it's
On my
already
computer.
connected. So yeah, or your computer, you're just streaming it in browser. So it's fine. You don't have to do anything with that. You just hit borrow and then it'll appear and then you hit play.
Oh, okay.
But like I said, you have 10 checkouts per month, so a 30-day period, no wait lists. And the checkout lengths for TV and movies, that can depend on whether or not it's a newer release. So it could be 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
Comics, ebooks, 21 days, audiobooks, 21 days, and music is 7 days.
Great.
This is an example of when you have ebooks, what the reading would look like on like a smaller device or larger web browser. You can have it be one single page or you can change it. All of your formatting for reading is when you tap in the middle of the page, that'll pop up on the top. And then your slider bar pops up on the bottom to let you know where you are in the book. You can skip it if you need to,
Okay.
kind of like Libby. And then in your settings, there's not too many settings, but you can change the email that you are using, but it'll let you know which library you're hooked up to. If you want to receive emails, you can turn that on and off.
Why would I receive emails?
Just to stay up to date, sometimes there's specials that they have going on where there's titles that don't count towards your 10 items checked out per month. They call them bonus borrows. So sometimes they have a month where they have a list of bonus borrows, so they might email that out to you.
Okay.
And then if you want your borrowing history on to keep track of what you've been reading, you do have to make sure that that is set to show.
Okay.
But that's one of the, I go back to one of the, here, that's up in the settings up here in the corner. That's how you get to that. All right, and I think that is it for Hoopla, and I do have, so this is in the handout. I just put the handout in the chat. So let's see here.
Wait for me to print it?
No, you don't need to print it now. It's just for you to look back later. If you need something
I
to.
know, but I don't know how to do that.
So you, can you see the chat screen on my screen?
Yeah, I see that. I see numbers
Okay.
1 through 4.
So if you open up the chat and click on the PDF, it should open.
And I don't see in the chat a PDF.
Let me, maybe because I'm in my intro for a second.
My dog is driving me crazy.
So what kind of device are you on right now? Are you on a computer?
Yeah, I'm on an Apple laptop.
Okay, so the black bar on the bottom where it says chat. Do you see that one, that bubble?
Yeah, I got that up.
Okay, and
Here, I have to have it. Yeah, I don't see any messages from you. And
I just realized
on
I
the,
didn't actually put it in, so here we go. Now it's going. There you go.
oh, okay, now.
So
Okay,
you click to
download.
open and you can save it to your device and then refer back to it. I'm going to open it just so you can kind of look here. So here's everything we've kind of so far went over with Hoopla. So it's just something to refer back to. If you haven't installed yet on any devices, I do
Whoops.
have in here stuff for installing on Apple TV, and how you hook up Hoopla, how you do it with Fire TV, and I also have
Hold on a second, I
Chromecast. So there's just a few
screwed
different ways.
up here. I don't know where you are anymore.
I'm just going over the handout quick.
No, I know, but I'm saying I can't see you and I don't know what I've done.
Okay.
I'm not sure how to get you back on the screen. I mean, obviously we're still connected, but uh I'm afraid if I close this, I'll lose you. I don't know how to get back into the Zoom meeting.
So you
I'm
should,
not seeing anything on my screen. Here's Zoom.
I'm gonna stop sharing and
There we are. Okay, there. Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, now it's back to where
Okay.
now I can
So
see you again.
in that handout, I just had, I just stuck this one in my slideshow, but in that handout, I have some directions for Android, Apple, Fire, or Roku TV, and how to hook that up to a smart TV if you haven't already done it. So that's
Okay,
something you can refer back to.
great.
So that's Hoopla. Kanopy works very similarly in that you start on our webpage. Again, you go to online databases and then you choose Kanopy out of the list, and you do need to make an account. So when you go through our website, it does insert the name of our library here, and then it's going to ask you for your card number and the PIN. So this is different than Hoopla. Hoopla doesn't ask for the PIN. Here it does, and that PIN is the same one you use for ordering books in Linkcat.
Okay.
If that's something that you're not sure what your PIN is, you would just need
I
to.
think I know it. It's one of two things. I
Yeah,
know it.
it's usually a default of month and date of your birthday. People can change it, and we can't see it at the front desk at the library, but
No, I think ours is our old phone number.
okay, but anyone can visit the desk at the library and have them change it to whatever you want if you can't remember it. So that's just, if you ever forget, we can always reset it to something. We just can't see what it is. So we can just always reset. But so you'd sign in and hit continue. And then it's going to ask you to make an account, because that account is what you're going to sign up with on your devices. So first you hook it up with your library card, and then the credentials that you use, which is usually just email address and password that you create, that's what
Uh-huh.
you're going to use to sign in.
Okay.
So Kanopy is a little different in that you have up to 8 films per month that you can watch. And in the kids section and great courses, those are unlimited plays, so it doesn't count towards your 8. So if it is anything, like I said, in that kids section, then that's unlimited. And once you create your account, then it's going to ask you to find your library. So again, you're going to type in the name of our library, and then it's going to add in your card, and then you'll be logged in. So this is what the homepage looks like for Kanopy. You have a browse tab up here, my list, so anything that you're favoriting, and then your search bar. And then if you need to look at kit items, it'll be kids here. And then it'll let you know how many credits you have. Let's see, I can't remember. It was 8, so that confuses me. We'll see when I look at it live. It'll also have your name up in the corner, and this is where you would click to get to like settings.
That little box.
Yeah, where it has the little J, it says Jamie.
Oh, okay.
It's just a screenshot I used from their own help section. If you click on the search bar, I typed in horror here. Before I hit search, it's giving me some suggested matches since there's multiple kinds of horror and thriller, or are you looking for 21st century horror, classic, things like that. So it's always going to give you suggestions that you can click on as well. That is kind of similar to how like Google search works.
Okay.
When you hit the browse button, they're going to give you can browse by some featured items, so new editions or what's popular, or if you're interested in Academy Award winners. And then they also have it laid out by genre. So you can do drama, documentaries, TV series, comedy, world cinema, things like that. And then you have your list section. You'll see my list section when I log in. There also is, so under my list, there's the continue watching my watch lists, that's your favorites or any custom playlists. So if I go to the continue watching, it'll show me how much I've watched of a certain thing. And then I can click on it, and then it'll hit say resume, or like here, this is one that I hadn't played yet, so it just hits play. When you hit play, that means you're checking it out. So it just kind of instantaneously happens.
Okay.
With Kanopy, you do have to have Wi-Fi at all times. So Hoopla, some of them have the option to download, but in
Right.
Kanopy, it's all, you have to have internet connection.
Okay.
It's just cutting out the rest where you pay for the service.
So is it like the same kind of movies that are on like Netflix or Apple TV or those
Kanopy
sorts of?
does have quite a bit of newer stuff, yes. So I'm gonna log in to
But
Kanopy.
there's no Kanopy is mostly just movies,
Kanopy is just movies and TV, yes.
movies and TV.
So you can still see, right? Still
Well,
sharing.
so for example, if I was interested in watching Ted Lasso,
Ted Lasso
is
is a
that
special thing. So
it? What?
Ted Lasso is a special thing that is an Apple only product. So that
Oh,
you have to pay for Apple TV specifically. They don't even like send it out on DVD anywhere for you to get.
right.
I'm going to log in. So you can see my my Kanopy here, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
so I'm signed into my account. Like I said, there's the browse button at the top, so you could click on new editions and see what's new. I could also do like Academy Award winners. So like Moonlight, Blue Valentine, Parasite, The King's Speech. When you kind of hover over them, they'll give you a quick summary. If you want to see more, you hit that red see more button. They'll tell you a little bit more and related stories. And then again, if you just hit play, it's going to check it out. You're ready to go.
Right.
So you have very similar buttons that you would on other video players, like on YouTube. You can go 10 seconds back, 10 seconds forward. You can speed up the playback rate. You do have a volume for the movie, but obviously you would have a volume for whatever device you're on as well. There is transcription that you can enable or closed captioning. Depending on the movie, if from the world languages section, it might give you multiple closed captioning if you specifically wanted to see the other language instead of English. But
Okay.
that option would be per movie. Then you also have like picture in picture, and then going to full screen. Different
Okay.
options. To get out of the movie, you just hit your back arrow. That's over in the left corner.
So if I want to start a movie and then finish it later, how do I do that?
So in your section up at the top here from my lists,
Uh-huh.
they have continue watching. So here
Okay.
it shows that I watched a part of this movie or documentary, and that I was that far in. So if I click on it and hit play, I should hope that it's gonna start. Yeah, it starts where I left off.
So, how long can you, how long can you check out a movie then, like this? I mean, like if I start it one day, do I have to finish it within 24 hours or is it 48 hours or what's?
So it depends on the item. So like here in this one, let me see if I go into the see more, it should show me. Yeah, so it's still kept, it's not checked out right now because it says I have 10 out of 10 credits. Sorry, it was 10 out of 8. And but it remembers where I left off.
Okay. All
And
right.
this one,
So
sorry,
it'll tell you for how long it's checking it out, usually.
for this, you do get, so it's about 3 days to watch. It depends on the title. So if it's a new release, it's going to be 48 hours. Otherwise, it'll be 72. So when you hover over credits, that's going to give you all the information for that. So it tells you sometimes there are free movies or free films each month. So that's something that would get emailed out in a list of what doesn't count towards your credits. And you have usually 3 days to watch unless it's a brand new feature item. And you can always, in your list, continue watching. You can see how much time you have left.
All right.
And then, like I said, if you go into the kids section, then it's completely unlimited. And a lot of it for the kids section is PBS based, but there are a few other things inserted in there.
It's great.
And then if you wanted to exit kids, you just have to make sure to hit the little exit button up at the top to get back to your regular stuff. So in the list, I've created a lot of watch lists. So anything that I've said add to my watch list now says remove from my watch list, so I can change it and fix it at all times. And it does make it in categories, so it shows me all the adult stuff first, and then all the kids stuff is together. If you see, each one has like a little kid sticker on them, so I know kind of where that ends and begins in those sections. It's easy to find.
Right.
Okay. And I don't
So
think
those are movies you've watched, or those are movies that you want to watch?
this is my watch list. So I really like documentaries, so I have a lot of documentaries in here, and then I have some things for my child.
Uh-huh.
And I have some movies like The Road Maker, and I have a few TV shows like The Librarians. It's a little self-explanatory being a librarian. And I have a few world stuff in here, like the one that I was watching before, the Étoile. That's a French documentary.
Uh-huh.
And like I said, you can turn on, some of them will have the closed caption stuff on the bottom for you, and some of them won't, and you will get a choice.
You wanted
That,
it on.
that A12 one had it in there no matter what, so it was like built into the film. It wasn't anything I had to turn on.
Right. Right. Well, great.
So that one, that's what Kanopy would look like. I'm just gonna quickly, there's not too much else on Kanopy. I'm gonna quickly jump into Hoopla. So here's your opening. It tells me exactly how many more titles. I can borrow 6 more this month. And then they do have some rolling advertisements for items. Things like the magazines, they call them binge passes, where it only counts for one checkout and you get unlimited use for 7 days. So I could look at any title I want for 7 days. So if there you get through like 4 magazines in a night, you don't have to use 4 checkouts on each magazine. It's kind of nice. For my Hoopla, you have your currently borrowed, your favorites, and your history. So here are the things that I have checked out currently, and it tells me how long I have for each one. And once it goes back, I can go and check it out again. No wait list, but it does count towards my number until I hit that 30 days, and then I'll get them back.
Right.
And I can look at my borrow history as well. See, I've done the magazine one a lot. And I also have a favorites. And it does split up in your lists: audiobooks, ebooks, movies, music, television, and binge passes. The thing that it doesn't do is it doesn't, Kanopy will tell you in your favorites list if it's a kids item or not. And that is not split up here. It's just all mushed together. Like I have some kids music stuff thrown in there too.
Yeah.
And the movies on Hoopla, these are some of the top ones right now, like A Man Called Ove. Now that one's really popular. It's also getting checked out a lot because of the movie at the library, the A Man Called Otto, which is what the book is called. Leap, I know that's a really popular kids movie. So yeah, it kind of, you know, there's older stuff and newer stuff, kind of a good mix, I think, especially between the two using Kanopy and Hoopla.
Okay, so Canopy, you get 8 a month, you said?
No, I misspoke. It was 10. 'Cause-
Canopy, you get 10,
Yep,
and
because
on
we're logged into
Hoopla,
mine here, it says 10.
how many do you get on Hoopla?
That is also 10.
Okay, so both of them, you get 10 a month. All
Yep.
right, great. So you get 20 altogether.
Well, plus Hoopla, which is also another 10 checked
Wait,
out and 10 on hold if Libby, I mean. On Libby you can do 10 on hold and 10 checked out for books and ebooks and magazines. So I usually go back and forth between all three of them. I'll use Hoopla and Kanopy for movies and TV, and then Libby and Hoopla for fulfilling all my other needs.
uh-huh. Okay. Well, great. I'll sign myself up for this and then try it out.
Yeah, and again, remember Hoopla for you sometimes have the choice to download or stream, and then Kanopy is just stream.
Okay.
And that can sometimes be hard if you wanted to watch something like while on an airplane or something. You just want to make sure
Right.
that you find something maybe in Hoopla that you can download then. Although I have noticed in flying, some airlines are including certain Wi-Fi where you might be able to do that. So
Yeah. Okay. Well,
all right.
great.
Well, thank you for joining.
Yeah, thanks very much. Thanks.
Welcome.
I appreciate the instruction.
Yes, I hope you have fun with it.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, thanks.